Hey guys, so a few weeks ago we finally got a chance to take a look at the Minaal Carry-On backpack. And during that video I did mention the Minaal Daily, and I promised we'd be doing an in-depth review for that. So this week we're going to be taking a look at the Minaal Daily Backpack. If you saw the review for the carry-on bag, you know I was super impressed with the way Minaal designs their bags, the thoughtfulness that goes into the different features, and just the different aesthetic and styling that they add to their bags. So I was really excited to kind of check out the daily bag and see how useful it actually was. And so this bag is a little bit unique because it seems like Minaal designed this specifically as a daily bag to pair with the carry-on backpack so that when you're traveling you can kind of have both with you, and then you can use the carry-on backpack to hold all of your stuff, and then when you arrive at your destination you can actually just pull out the Minaal Daily and just use it on your day-to-day basis. And I have to say, in that regard it works great, but I was curious as to how it would work as a regular daily bag as well. So what I've gone ahead and done in this video is actually treated this as any other daily bag that I've reviewed, and basically just tried to include the same amount of stuff to see how it would compare. And overall, I have to say it held up really well. So I'm really excited to just dive in and take a look and show you all the features that the Minaal Daily has to offer. So just starting off with the look of the bag, I really like the overall design. It's very clean and minimalistic, very much like the carry-on backpack. This really just does look like a miniature version of the carry-on bag. It has the same gray coloring, same really strong kind of durable materials, really nice zippers with kind of that water-resistant sealing. So overall, just the same quality in a smaller package, same gray color. I know they are just releasing the carry-on and the daily bag recently in an all black, which looks really nice, but I really like the gray color. It definitely helps it stand out from a lot of the other travel bags that are out there. And overall, one of the main things that stands out to me about this is the size. It's such a small bag. I was so shocked that I was actually able to fit this into the Minaal carry-on bag. That was one of the things that was advertised about buying the two as a set, is that you could actually put one inside of the other. But I didn't really believe it until I tried it out. So if you want to see what that looks like, I definitely recommend checking out the review that I did for the Minaal carry-on. I'll include that link in the description below. But the size itself is just really small. So if this bag is empty, it packs down super slim, and when it's full, it still looks really, really tiny. So as you can see here, I have included most of the same stuff that I use in my other daily bag videos, and the bag still looks tiny. When you wear it, it really maintains a really slim profile, and just sits really closely to your back. So I really like how small it is, but how much it's able to still hold. On the outside of the bag, there's not much in the way of pocket. One of the things that it has on the outside is a handle. So this is a really nice kind of padded handle. So you can actually hide the straps of the backpack. So if you wanted to use this as a briefcase, you're actually able to do so. You can hide the straps and carry this by this very strong handle. The bag also includes loops on the outside that you can use to attach a shoulder strap. That's sold separately on Minaal's website. But if you did want it to wear this as a shoulder bag, it would look pretty nice because of how simple the design is. If you hide the straps, it could very easily pass for a shoulder bag. So I really like kind of the versatility of the bag and how you can wear it and carry it. And so as far as the back of the bag, it has a really nice back padding. It's very comfortable to wear. It's really soft. It's very similar to the material found on the carry-on backpack. It's just a little bit thinner. It doesn't really have a lot of elevation. If you wear this for a long period of time during the day or with a lot of stuff in it, I can definitely see your back getting moist. But as far as how it feels, it's pretty soft and comfortable to wear. The straps themselves are very comfortable as well. Very similar material to what you find on the back, and they're pretty wide, so they feel very comfortable. They don't really fatigue your shoulders. And on top of that, they do include an adjustable sternum strap, which is really nice if you want to just help balance out the weight a little bit more. If you don't want to use the backpack straps, you can, as I mentioned, just unclip them at the bottom here and tuck them into these little sleeves that it has here, and then the bag just turns into a very sleek briefcase or messenger bag. And so much like I did with the carry-on backpack, I'm going to call out one thing that kind of bothers me about both of the bags, and that's just how few accessories are included for the price of the bag. So as I mentioned a second ago, you can actually attach a shoulder strap to this backpack so that you can wear it as a shoulder bag. And that's a really cool feature, but it'd be much better if it can include the strap. This bag isn't cheap. It costs $250 or $200 if you pair it with the Minaal Carry-On. So that's a lot of money. And the shoulder strap sells on Minaal's site for like $40, $45. So that starts to add up very quickly. And so I think that for the price of this bag, the shoulder strap should have really been included. If you look at a bag like the Air Flight Pack, which I reviewed a while back on the channel, that's a very similar bag to this in that it's, kind of meant to be a companion to a bigger travel backpack. And it also works really well as a briefcase and as a shoulder bag. But the main difference is that it actually does include the shoulder strap, and it's a lot cheaper. It's about $150 as opposed to the $200 or $250 you might end up spending on this. So even though the design and the look of this bag are very cool, I do think that some of those accessories should have been included to kind of justify that higher price point a little bit more. But moving on to the pockets of the bag, as I mentioned, it's very minimal in what it offers, much like the carry-on backpack, which is really cool because it forces you to really think about what you're going to pack. But that also means that each pocket itself might be a lot more useful than having a lot of smaller pockets. So I really like kind of how big the pockets themselves are. It has just one quick access pocket on the front, which is pretty big. You can put a lot of items in here. So at the moment, I have my Ray-Ban sunglasses and I have my GoPro. I also included a Apple Magic Mouse and a lightning cable. And so I really love these quick access pockets, as you'll hear me talk about in a lot of videos. These are really great for when you're going through airport security. You can just toss your wallet and your phone or your watch in there really quickly and then go through security very easily. So that's really nice. On the inside of this pocket, there's also a smaller zippered mesh compartment to help kind of add a little bit of extra organization within just kind of this big pouch that you have here. So I really like that it's mesh so that you can see kind of those smaller items as they're floating around. So in here, I just have like a contact case, and then I have a retractable HDMI cable, and I have my fidget spinner. And the bag also includes a keychain loop in this zippered mesh compartment. So here I just have my Gerber shard. I don't travel without that. And then the clip itself is just like a plastic short clip. It is a little bit strange just how short this clip is. It's nice that there's a place to put your keys, or as I have done here with a multi-tool. It's nice that this is actually here to keep that in place, but it is unfortunate how short this is. So you pretty much can't use this unless you unclip whatever is on here. It'd be nice if it was a little bit longer and you could maybe just pull it out, unlock one of your suitcases or something like that, and then put it back in. But overall, the pocket itself is very useful. As I mentioned, it's the only pocket here on the outside. It comes down to about the middle of the front of the bag, and it's just really big and useful. So I really love how this was implemented. Moving on to kind of the main compartment of the bag, I love how the zippers come all the way down the sides, allowing you to open this up clamshell style. That's one of my favorite features of different bags, is when you can open it up and really see everything you have. This makes it very easy to pack as well. And so on the flap of the bag, as you can see, there's no pockets here. Here's, you can see the main pocket from the outside that we just reviewed. You can see kind of what it looks like and how big it is. But on the flap side of the bag, there's nothing. It just kind of closes over and kind of molds over whatever you put in this main compartment, which I really like. I called out the same thing in the Minaal Carry-On video because that just kind of lets you pack whatever you want, and then the bag kind of shapes to those items. So if you have some bulkier items, it's really nice because then this kind of is not so padded that it's very rigid, and it allows you to just kind of shape around the different items. So I really like that. Here in the main compartment, I just included the same items that I have in most of my other daily bag videos, as I mentioned. So I have my Beats Solo Wireless 2. I have my in-case accessory organizer pouch. I have my Bag Smart cable organizer. And then, even though the bag doesn't have a water bottle pouch on the outside, I absolutely love that it does have one on the inside. I'm not sure how I feel about this compared to regular water bottle pouches. I kind of like this because it helps the bag keep its very clean and sleek aesthetic, but it still offers you a place to keep your water bottle so that it's not floating around. And I also like that it's not in the same compartment as the laptop. So it's really nice here that it can kind of hold in place. You can probably put an umbrella in here as well. But I really like this kind of flexible pouch that they've included so that I could put my water bottle or something else here and not have it floating around, and also that it doesn't share the same compartment as the laptop. On the back of this main compartment, there's two zippered compartments. So they have one mesh zipper compartment so that you can kind of just put some cables, maybe a hard drive, a portable battery or something like that. And then on the bottom, there's another zipper pocket, which is not mesh, so you can't see what's inside of it. And that's just kind of a smaller one. You probably put some pens in there, some coins, maybe some cables as well. I personally don't use these compartments as I was packing the bag out. I didn't think they were that useful. I prefer to just leave it flat so that I could put everything else into my modular accessories. But if you don't have as many pouches, or you just have a few small items that you want to keep organized, these could work well. I also don't like that these pouches are on this side of the bag. I do kind of wish they were on the flap. So if you've seen my GoRuck videos, you've seen how the GoRuck has two zipper pouches on the flap side of the bag, and I think that works a little bit better, because at the moment, if I put a lot of stuff on this side, I have to move it all to be able to access these compartments, whereas if they're on this side, I can leave everything here, I don't have to disturb anything here, and I can just access the zipper pouches on this side. So overall, I do wish that they had been moved to the flap side as opposed to being on the back side. I think they'd be a little more useful, but everybody packs a little bit differently, so that's definitely more of a personal preference, and I think that they could still be useful depending on how you pack. On the bottom of the bag, there's a little bit of a bulge from the rain cover. So the bag itself includes a rain cover that you can use to cover the bag to help add a little bit more protection if you get caught in a monsoon or something like that. So when you store the bag in the pocket that's found on the bottom of the bag, the rain cover itself can take up a little bit of space from the main compartment, but thankfully the rain cover is actually removable. So if you don't want to use it, you can actually just take it out and just have this whole space for storing your stuff as opposed to using it for the rain cover. One last thing to note about the main compartment is that it actually includes 4 little loops that are meant to pair with Minaal's accessories. They have like this really cool shirt organizer that you can use to pack. And so if you want to use this bag for like a quick weekend trip, you can actually get their shirt organizer, and it attaches to these 4 loops here to help keep your clothes in place and from not shifting around the bag. And so it's really nice, kind of this ecosystem that Minaal has built around their accessories. But as I mentioned earlier, for the price of the bag, it would be cool if some of these accessories were included with the bag. I know you can't include everything, but if you can include the shoulder strap, I would definitely think that maybe the shirt organizer would be a nice thing to throw in, so that you could really take full advantage of the bag and also kind of get a little bit more for your money. On the bottom of the bag, as I had mentioned earlier, is a little bit of a small pocket to hold the rain cover. So as you can see here, the rain cover just folds up into itself and you can store it in this pocket. As you saw a second ago, this bulge actually comes into the main compartment, so it does take up a little bit of space. But as I mentioned, you can also remove the rain pouch if you don't want to use it. And if you do in fact remove it using the clip that it has here, you can use this pocket for, just to store a small accessory, maybe an external battery, or you can just leave it empty and use the full space of the main compartment. The last thing we're going to take a look at today is the laptop compartment, and this is where both the carry-on backpack and the Minaal Daily really excel. The way that Minaal has designed their laptop compartments is fantastic. It works super well. It's really good quality. First off, I really like how the bag lays flat, just like the main compartment. It's clamshell style, so you can lay it down. So this laptop compartment has very many unique features. One of the coolest things is just how it's elevated on all the sides. This adds a lot of protection, so if you no matter how you drop the bag, your laptop is never really touching the ground. So that's nice to have that extra bit of protection. And one of the other things that's really cool is that you can take your laptop and your tablet out from the top or the side. So if you're using this as a shoulder bag, you can pull your laptop out from the side, or you can pull your tablet out from the side. And if you're using it as a backpack and you just want to reach in and grab, it's very easy to do. So it's really nice how that's implemented. The material that's used here is very soft, and it feels like it's going to really protect your laptop and your tablet. It also feels like it's going to prevent it from scratching, which is always a really nice thing. And then on top of that, if you have a larger laptop, it's nice that it's adjustable using these kind of little notches here. You can add a bigger laptop. At the moment, I have an iPad mini 2 and a 13-inch MacBook Pro, and so I didn't really have to adjust it. But if I had a 15 or even a 17-inch laptop, I don't know if a 17-inch would fit in here, but definitely a 15-inch and a regular size iPad. And you can adjust as needed so that you can fit your devices and help and make sure that they're held in place and protected. So really love how the laptop compartment is implemented in both this bag and in the carry-on backpack. So that's an awesome job by Minaal. On the other side of the laptop compartment, there's a little bit of additional organization. So they have 2 small pockets here. I would think that this is probably like for like a business card and maybe to hold some SD cards or a camera battery or something like that. Then there is just kind of this slip pocket here. that's meant to maybe hold a notebook or a portable battery. I actually was able to fit a Kindle in here, so this is just the smallest version of the Kindle, and it fits perfectly there. Maybe that's what it was even made for, but I love how that was able to fit in there easily. And then there's also a zippered pocket that is also like a good size to hold a small notebook or to hold, in this case I have an external hard drive here, but you could put a battery in there or just some smaller accessories. So it's really nice that it has a little bit of extra organization to help keep everything in their place. And then on top of that, it has just kind of this big compartment here that's held by a clip that's meant for kind of more your documents. So I have just a folder with some documentation in here. And then I also have my moleskin notebook. And so this pocket itself doesn't really have any padding. It's just kind of a document pouch that you can use to just hold stuff and keep it all in its place. This also works really well if you're using the bag as a shoulder bag. It's very easy to access it as you're holding it on your shoulder. So overall, a really useful pocket. It's really nice that it has so many different ways to organize your stuff. And again, I can't mention enough just how good the laptop compartment itself is. So really impressed with how that's implemented. And so overall, I was really impressed with the quality and the features of the Minaal bag. It held a ton of stuff for its diminutive size. It's really, really small, and that's by design so that it can actually fit inside of the bigger carry-on backpack. But I love how many different pockets it has, how it can kind of hold everything, and just the size. It's really cool that such a small bag can hold so much. This is much smaller than most of the other day bags that I've reviewed on the channel, but it holds almost just as much stuff. So that's really impressive, and I definitely enjoyed testing this bag out. So even though the bag has a really cool design, it's really high quality, and it has a lot of unique features, I do think that it is a little bit overpriced. Currently, you can find the bag on Minaal's website for about $250. If you buy this and the carry-on backpack together, you get a little bit of a discount. I think you get $50 off or something like that. So you can get the two of them for $500. But even for $200, I think that's a little bit much for a bag such as this. I think it's a really useful bag, but I think that there's a lot of other bags that are just as good a quality for less money. So $250 for a day bag is a pretty steep price. The only bag that I've paid that much for would be something like a GoRuck, which I know is going to last me forever and which is a little bit bigger than something like the Minaal bag. So I think it's a little bit high compared to a lot of other bags. However, it is a really high quality bag, and it does have a lot of unique features that you might not find on other bags. So if things such as the elevated laptop compartment or the fact that this can kind of pack into the bigger Minaal carry-on bag are really important to you, then maybe that higher price point will be worth it to you. But for me, I do think this is a little bit high. Great bag all around. But there are other bags with similar features that I might turn to so that I could just save a little bit of money but still get similar functionality. But overall, it was a really great bag. I think that if you buy into kind of the whole Minaal system, it all works really great together, so I could see why you might want to invest in the daily bag. But I was really impressed with the design and the quality, and I definitely recommend checking it out if you are a fan of Minaal's bag and their overall aesthetic. So even though the price is a little bit on the higher side, if you're looking for a really kind of practical and useful but still small day bag to use while traveling, I definitely recommend just checking out Minaal's bag on their website. They have a really good 90-day return policy, so if you want to check the bag out and just try it out and see if it suits your needs, you can definitely go ahead and do that. But overall, I think it's definitely a cool bag. I really like a lot of the company's messaging, and I really liked using the carry-on backpack. Definitely recommend just checking them out. If you guys found this review useful, please go ahead and give us a like below. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And thank you guys so much.